Hello everyone, welcome back to the third session of our chapter, lesson number 2, that is periodic classification of elements. Now, in the previous lecture, we had seen the merits and demerits of Mendelev's periodic table. Now, if you see Mendelev's periodic table on page number 18, you will find the table which he had made. In that, he had given names to the groups like group 1, group 2, and below that you will find the formulas of the elements that are forming oxides or hydrides. So now see on page number 20, they have given the molecular formula of oxides of the following elements by referring to the Mendeleev periodic table. Now, for oxides, for sodium will react with oxygen and form sodium oxide. Similar way, silicon will form silicon dioxide. Carbon dioxide. Rubidium oxide. Phosphorus pentaoxide. Barium oxide. Chlorine, this is chlorine monoxide. And this is tin oxide or stannic oxide. Calcium, it will form calcium oxide. So these are according to the formulas that he had predicted, which is given on page number 18 in the table. Then we have the second question that is there is write the molecular formula of the compound of the elements with hydrogen referring to the same Mendeleev periodic table. Now we'll see the elements like carbon. When reacting with hydrogen, the hydride which is formed is methane. Sulfur is H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide. Bromine, hydrogen bromide. Arsenic is arsen. Fluorine is hydrogen fluoride. And for oxygen, it is H2O. So these are the formulas for oxides and hydrides according to Mendeleev's periodic table. Now, as there were demerits in the Mendeleev periodic table, so there were some modifications which were done later. So we'll see that. Now we'll see the modern periodic law. Now the scientific world did not know anything about the interior of the atom. They were not knowing about the interior of the atom, like the protons, electrons, neutrons, when Mendeleev was classifying the elements. So after the discovery of element, now scientists started exploring the relation between the electronic number of atom and the atomic number. So atomic number and the electron number, they started exploring the relation between that. Now the atomic number in Mendeleev's periodic table only indicates a serial number. But when they came to know later, the atomic number was equal to the number of protons present in the nucleus. Now later in 1913 AD, the English scientist Henry Moseley, he demonstrated with the help of experiments done with the X-ray tube that the atomic number of element corresponds. Atomic number of it corresponds to the positive charge on the nucleus. As I said previously, the number of protons. Protons are positively charged. So now atomic mass is both the sum of protons and neutrons, and protons are equal to the atomic number, and same number of electrons are also present. So protons, they are equal to the number of electrons. Now this revealed that atomic number is more fundamental property because every element will have a different atomic number. So accordingly you can classify in a better way compared to the atomic mass, because like cobalt and nickel, they both had same mass. The whole number was 58, it was same mass. So there was a little doubt about how to place them in the periodic table. So when it was classified according to the atomic numbers, this doubt was cleared. So according to the statement of the modern periodic law, it stated that properties of the elements, there are physical properties and chemical properties, they are periodic function of the atomic numbers. So for Mendeleev, atomic number just was a serial number. Now we'll see the modern periodic table, or it is also known as the long form of the periodic table. Now the classification of elements resulting from an arrangement of elements in an increasing order of their atomic numbers is the modern periodic table. So what is the modern periodic table? The classification of elements. How they have arranged? They have arranged in the increasing order of the atomic numbers. Now before, if you see, the Briners, Newland and Mendeleev, they classified according to the atomic masses. But when it was classified according to atomic numbers, now most of the demerits of the previous table, it was removed. Now the properties of the elements can be predicted more accurately with the help of modern periodic table, as the elements were arranged according to their atomic numbers. Now the modern periodic table is also known as the long form periodic table. Now in the modern periodic table, the elements are arranged in order of their atomic number. As you can see on page number 23, the entire table is given. Now as a result, most of the drawbacks of the Mendeleev periodic tables appear to be removed because of the arrangement according to the atomic numbers. Now, however, the position of hydrogen, it was not confirmed till there also, because hydrogen, it is reactive, it is having the similar properties like that of halogens also, and like that of alkyl metal also. So where to place it, it was a doubt for them. But now when it is arranged according to the atomic numbers, so being the lightest element as atomic number 1, so it is the periodic table starts with hydrogen. Now we have seen in the previous standard that electronic configuration of an atom, the way in which the electrons are distributed in the shells. Now if you see the atom of for example chlorine, for example oxygen, how much it is? It is 8. Atomic number is 8. So your electronic configuration will be 6. So here it is the nucleus of oxygen. Here you will have 2 electrons and outside you will have 6 electrons. So in this way, the electrons, they are arranged around the nucleus in shells. Now the relation between the atomic number, we'll see, we have seen in the previous standards that electronic configuration of atom is the way in which the electrons are distributed in the shells around the nucleus. How they are distributed in the shells around the nucleus? It is determined by the total number of electrons in it. Now how we have to see first how many number of electrons are there, and according to the capacity of the shells you have to fill those electrons. So the relation between the atomic number of the element and its electronic configuration is clear. So atomic number is equal to the number of protons, and also it is equal to the number of electrons. As many as protons are there, that much only electrons will be there. Now we'll see the structure of modern periodic table. So as you can see on page number 23, the modern periodic table contains 7 horizontal periods. So it contains 7 horizontal periods. As you can see, horizontal, it contains 7 horizontal means the sleeping lines, and vertical means the standing lines. So in this periodic table you can refer to page number 23, wherein the modern periodic table contains 7 horizontal rows. So it contains 7 horizontal rows called periods. So horizontal rows are called periods, and they are 1 to 7, and 18 columns are there, vertical columns. So from 1 to 18 there are vertical columns, and 1 to 7 there are horizontal periods. Now the arrangement of the periods and the group. Now when you make such lines, that results in the formation of boxes. So the arrangement of the period and group results into the formation of boxes. Now atomic numbers, they are serially indicated in the upper part of the each box. Now if you see the periodic table on 23, you will find the atomic numbers, they are written slightly on the upper side of each element. Now atomic numbers are serially indicated in the upper part of these boxes. Now each box corresponds to the place for one element. As you draw these lines, you will get box, and in each box you will place the elements. So every box contains a element. Apart from these 7 rows, 2 rows are separately at the bottom of the periodic table. If you see on page number 23, you will find there are 2 tables, the lanthanide and the actinide series. And the overall table, the upper elements and the below 2 series of lanthanides and actinides, they contribute to the total number of elements, that is 180. So there are lanthanide and actinide series respectively. Now there are 118 in the periodic table, including the 2 series, as I said earlier. It means there are 118 places for the elements in the modern periodic table. Now very recently, formation of a few elements were established experimentally, and thereby the modern periodic table is now completely filled. So few elements were not discovered, but now as those are also discovered, so all the elements are full. So modern periodic table contains 118 elements. So all the 118 elements are now discovered. Now if you see on page number 23, the entire periodic table is divided into 4 blocks. As you can see on page number 23, they have drawn lines and they have shown for S block elements that are alkaline and alkaline earth metals. Then we have transition metals in D block. Then we have non-metals, metalloids in the P block. Now the S block contains group 1 and 2. If you see in the periodic table on page 23, you will find that the groups 1 and 2, they belong to the S block. The group 13 to 18, they belong to P block. 13 to 18, P block. 1 to 2, S block. And the groups 3 to 12 constitutes the D block. From 3 to 12, it constitutes the D block. While the lanthanide and actinide series, they are placed at the bottom of the table. Now, the D block elements are also called transition elements. A zigzag line can be drawn in the P block of the periodic table. There is a zigzag line formed in the P block of the periodic table. So, there are metalloids placed along that line. The 3 traditional types of elements can be clearly shown in the modern periodic table with the help of this zigzag line. So when you are drawing that zigzag line, the metalloids, they lie along the border of the zigzag lines, and the metals, they are to the left hand side of the zigzag lines, if you see in the picture of the periodic table, while all the non-metals, they lie to the right hand side of the periodic table. So in our modern periodic table, you will find metals, non-metals and metalloids. So metals are to the extreme right of that zigzag line. Around the zigzag line there are metalloids, and to the left there are non-metals. Next, the modern periodic table and electronic configuration. Now within a period, if you see the neighboring elements, they slightly differ in their properties, while distant elements differ widely in their properties. Those who are away, they will differ very much, but those who are close, they will differ in not very drastically. Now, elements which are there in the same group, like group 1, 2, they show same properties, or they show gradation, or from top to bottom there is an increase or a decrease. So that is the gradation in the properties, like alkali metals, alkaline, earth metals. Now, these modern periodic tables are because of the electronic configuration of the elements. It is the electronic configuration of the element which decides the group and period which it is to be placed. Now, if it is placed in group 1, you will find the last shell of the element, it contains only one electron. If it is in group 2, you will find the last shell, it contains 2 electrons. So that is why it is said that the electronic configuration decides the group and period in which it is to be placed. Now, you will find that the number of valence electrons in these elements from group 1, the family of alkali metals. Now, if you see the elements beryllium, magnesium, calcium, they belong to group 2, the family of alkaline earth metals. Now, there are 2 elements such as fluorine, chlorine from group 17, that is the family of halogens. While going from top to bottom in any group, 1 electron shell gets added at a time. From this, we say that electronic configuration of the outermost shell is a particular group. However, as we go down a group, the number of shells goes on increasing. When you see from top to bottom in the periodic table, you will find that one more shell goes on increasing, and when you see along the periods, you will find the number of shells are not increasing, but the electron in the valence shell, it is increasing by 1. Now see, in the uranium has atomic number 92. Now uranium, it has atomic number, it is a radioactive element. So all the elements beyond uranium with atomic number 93 to 118, they are, all these are man-made. All these elements are radioactive and unstable, and they have a very short life. Now we will have a short recap on the periodic table. So in the modern periodic table, elements are arranged in an increasing order of their atomic numbers. So remember, they are arranged in the order of the atomic numbers. Now vertical columns, they are called as groups. Horizontal rows, they are called as periods. How many periods are there? 7. 1 to 7. Groups are 1 to 18. And the properties of element change slowly from one end to the other end of the period. Now the next part of periodic and electronic configuration we'll see in the next session. Thank you.